Top business news, Chinese workers are returning to work following an emergency 10-day extension to the Lunar New Year holiday. But many businesses do remain closed. Yuka Roy from our business desk is here to tell us more. Yuka.
Well, Haxi, obviously the Chinese government is keen to restart the economy following the coronavirus outbreak. The country's central bank, the People's Bank of China, has announced a $43 billion fund to make low-interest loans to pharmaceuticals and other companies involved in fighting the virus. The government has also promised tax cuts and subsidies to farmers and supermarkets to keep food supplies flowing and avoid panic buying. It has also urged vital industries like aviation to resume operations as soon as possible, but a number of companies have already announced they will extend the New Year holiday break even further. Catherine Bennett has more on what this post-holiday Monday looks like in China.
Back to work for millions of workers in China after an extended holiday. But of course it isn't an ordinary Monday. Many cities remain ghost towns. This journalist in Shanghai has called it a soft opening and shared photos on Twitter of almost empty public transport. State media said that there are half as many passengers as normal on the Beijing metro and that commuters not wearing face masks are being asked to leave stations. The coronavirus epidemic has shut down schools and workplaces across the country, with authorities putting a region covering 45 million people in lockdown. Hubei province, the epicenter of the outbreak, remains in quarantine, with no one going in or out, and tens of millions of people remaining cooped up in their homes. The number of deaths from the virus have overtaken that of the 2003 SARS epidemic. The World Health Organization has said that the number of new cases in China is stabilizing. But with still so much unknown about the virus, confirmed cases of coronavirus being transmitted by people who had never been to China could be the tip of the iceberg. A team of international experts led by the WHO are going to China on Monday to investigate the virus.
Well, with that, let's look at some trading action at the start of the week. The potential impact of the coronavirus continues to weigh on Asian stocks. Tokyo's Nikkei closed down 0.75 of a percentage point, whereas China's workers returned to work, however, lifted local stocks, with the Shanghai stock market rising 0.5%. Major European markets also started the week in the red. Here in Paris, the CAC 40 was down 1/3 of a percentage point at the open. Earlier in our programme, we asked Stephen Innes, market analyst at AxiTrader, about how fears over the coronavirus may impact global markets going forward.
I'm looking at this more related to countries that do a lot of business with China, particularly in the Asian community. So this could be a more Asia-centric phenomenon rather than a global phenomenon. We have to put that into perspective because the fear hasn't been that broad in markets in Europe and markets in the U.S. However, if the knock-on effect from the weakening of the Chinese economic situation does pass through, then we'll probably have some reason to concern. At the moment, I don't think that concern is as elevated as what it is here in Asia right now.
Meanwhile, China's consumer price index rose 0.1% year-on-year in January, snapping a 6-month deflationary streak. However, analysts don't expect the economic recovery to last amid challenges posed by the coronavirus. Morgan Stanley estimates that the outbreak could cut China's first quarter growth by as much as 2 percentage points if factory closures continue beyond February. Now, fears over the spread of the virus may impact a major tech show in Barcelona later this month. Amazon has joined companies staying away from the Mobile World Congress scheduled to start on the 24th of February. Other companies like Sweden's Ericsson and South Korea's LG have also pulled out of the conference. China's Huawei, meanwhile, says it will still attend. The event is one of the largest in the world, drawing around 100,000 people and nearly 3,000 exhibitors. The organizer says the show will go ahead. Staying on tech, Google is preparing to fight back in court against the European Union's antitrust fines. The EU's General Court in Luxembourg is holding a 3-day hearing starting Wednesday on the first of a set of 3 multi-billion euro fines the bloc has imposed on the tech giant in the last few years. Starting in 2017, the EU has fined Google's parent company Alphabet a total of €9 billion for using its dominant position to put competitors at a disadvantage. This week's hearings will focus on the case involving its shopping service. The other 2 are related to Android and advertising. That wraps up the business news for now.
Yuka Roy, thank you very much indeed.